Most businesses don't make a lot of money. While it may seem like many entrepreneurs are raking in substantial profits, the reality is quite different. The number of businesses generating $100,000 a year is surprisingly low. Even fewer manage to break the $1 million mark, and the number continues to shrink as revenue targets climb to $10 million, $50 million, or $100 million. The common assumption is that higher revenue is significantly harder to achieve. However, the truth is counterintuitive. The larger the revenue, the easier it becomes to generate even more. Businesses that surpass a certain revenue threshold gain momentum, allowing them to scale operations, reinvest in growth, and leverage resources more efficiently. At the core of any successful business is a set of essential skills. Personal development plays a role, but business-specific skills ultimately determine the ability to scale and sustain success. Among these, two fundamental skills stand out: product innovation and revenue generation. Product innovation. Every business falls into one of two categories, product-based or service-based. While both models have their place, a service business inherently limits its revenue potential. This is because services require direct time investment, and time is finite. A product-based business, on the other hand, removes this constraint, allowing for infinite scalability and revenue generation without a direct correlation to time spent. Consider a house painting business. No matter how skilled the painter is, they can only complete a certain number of projects each year. Their earnings are capped by the number of houses they can physically paint. Now, compare this to selling a book. Writing the book takes time up front, but once it's created, selling 100 copies takes no more effort than selling a single copy. In some cases, a single bulk sale to a company or institution could generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue within minutes. However, creating a successful product is not about just making something interesting or personal. The market, not the creator's preferences, dictates demand. Identifying pain points and unmet desires in a specific audience is a foundation of effective product innovation. The best way to discover these opportunities is not necessarily through direct surveys. People often struggle to articulate what they truly need, but by observing behavior, trends, and emerging patterns in consumer habits. A successful product meets three key criteria. Desirable. The product must solve a problem people care about. The demand must already exist. It's not about convincing people they need something, but rather fulfilling a need they already recognize. A personal story or passion project doesn't necessarily translate into a successful product unless it provides a tangible benefit to others. Measurable. A product must deliver a clear transformation or result. Customers want to see it defined before and after. If the impact isn't measurable, the perceived value diminishes, making it harder to justify the price. Stateable. The core benefit of the product should be expressible in a single, clear sentence. If it takes multiple explanations to convey what the product does or why it matters, the idea isn't fully developed. Simplicity in messaging increases marketability and consumer understanding. Beyond these criteria, value creation stems from three psychological principles. Past perceived voids. People are naturally drawn to products that fulfill a need they lacked in the past. If someone grew up without financial education, they are more likely to invest in courses or books that provide it. Present perceived virtues. High-quality perception plays a significant role in purchasing decisions. If a product is associated with prestige, reliability, or exclusivity, people are willing to pay premium prices. Future pursued visions. Aspiration is often more powerful motivator than immediate necessity. People buy gym memberships, online courses, and personal development books not because they need them immediately, but because they envision a better future for themselves. Revenue generation. Generating revenue is not as complicated as it seems when the right skills are in place. At the core of revenue generation is sales. Those who dislike selling struggle to build wealth, while those who master sales unlock unlimited income potential. The alternative to selling is buying, giving away money instead of receiving it. Interestingly, becoming a better buyer also makes one a better seller. Those who resist sales interactions often fail at selling because they dislike being on the receiving end of the pitch. This reluctance prevents them from understanding the psychology of persuasion, making it harder to convert potential customers. Shifting this mindset is key to mastering revenue generation. Key aspects of revenue generation include promotion. There are only two ways to generate visibility: advertising or direct outreach. Paid advertising involves investing in attention, spending money to get in front of potential customers. However, effective advertising must drive immediate action. Every dollar spent should generate a measurable return. Self-liquidating offers. SLO is one of the best ways to scale a business is by ensuring that advertising costs pay for themselves. An SLO is a product or offer designed to generate enough revenue to cover ad expenses, making customer acquisition essentially free. Once a business has a system where ad costs are covered, the potential for scaling is limitless. Customer acquisition focus. The goal of sales should not be just to generate revenue, but to acquire customers. A one-time transaction is not a long-term success strategy. Instead, businesses should focus on creating repeat customers who continue to invest in future offerings. A loyal customer base is far more valuable than sporadic high-ticket sales. Every sale represents a stepping stone toward building a sustainable and profitable enterprise. Once these business skills are mastered, the revenue ceiling disappears. Businesses that focus on scalable products, strategic promotion, and long-term customer relationships can break past the barriers that hold most entrepreneurs back, paving the way to financial freedom and limitless growth. Marketing is often misunderstood. Most people believe that marketing and advertising are the same thing, but they are not. The biggest mistake businesses make is thinking that marketing is about broadcasting information about a company, brand, or product. In reality, marketing is about gathering information. It is the art and science of discovering and cultivating a desire in people for a product, service, or opportunity. Real marketing begins when a lead magnet is introduced. A free checklist on how to avoid a specific problem, a downloadable guide, or an exclusive webinar. These are examples of lead magnets. When someone provides their name, email, and phone number in exchange for that checklist, marketing has occurred. Why? Because good marketing gives control over the next point of contact. This is what makes marketing essential. Branding and advertising may build awareness, but they don't necessarily create a direct pathway to engage with the audience again. Building an email list, a customer database, essentially collecting information, is a foundation of effective marketing. When a business has a list of engaged prospects, there is no longer a need to rely on expensive advertising to reach them again. Instead of paying for ad placements every time, a single email campaign can connect directly with people who have already expressed interest in the product or service. The next crucial skill in revenue generation is selling. The reality is that most people are not good at selling, and it's because they focus on the wrong things. Selling is not about pushing a product. It's about uncovering and presenting the value of an offer so well that people are happy to exchange their money for it. The key to great sales isn't in explaining the product, but in selling the outcome. Most people who struggle with sales talk too much about what they are selling instead of what the buyer will gain. When the focus is on the process, potential customers feel overwhelmed. Imagine walking into a gym and the trainer says, "First, you'll need to run until your legs feel like they're going to fall off. Then you'll lift weights until your arms are sore for weeks. Your back will hurt and you'll wake up every morning regretting this decision." No one would sign up. Instead, a great sales pitch focuses on transformation. In 90 days, you'll be in the best shape of your life. You'll have more energy, confidence, and strength than ever before. The focus is always on the result, not the steps to get there. This is why salespeople, especially in coaching, consulting, and high-ticket services, should stop selling personal access and time. No one wants to buy 70,000 hours of one-on-one attention. What they want is a solution. People don't pay for time, they pay for results. If the pain is financial, they want a way to make more money. If the pain is weight-related, they want to lose weight. The best sales approach clearly communicates how the offer removes pain and delivers pleasure. For example, a book writing coach shouldn't sell the technical process of writing a book. Instead, they should sell the transformation. This book will generate $10,000 a month in passive income. That's what gets people to buy. Knowledge of how to properly position an offer is what makes the difference between struggling to sell and making six figures from a single launch. The final essential skill in business is asset allocation, which includes pricing, payment processing, and payment collection. Most entrepreneurs make the mistake of copying competitors' pricing strategies instead of setting prices based on value. The truth is, there are no real competitors, just businesses charging less. Pricing should reflect the perceived value of the offer, not what others are charging. Payment processing is another critical factor. A business that doesn't accept credit cards is leaving money on the table. Most people pay with credit cards because it's convenient, and businesses must make it easy for customers to buy. Payment systems should be seamless and reliable, using processors like Stripe or NMI instead of platforms like PayPal, which can freeze funds and disrupt cash flow. In business, a limit should be set on credit card transactions. No more than $2,000 should be processed through credit cards. Anything beyond that should be handled through wire transfers or ACH payments. Merchant processors have risk management teams that monitor large transactions. High-revenue businesses often face situations where customers dispute charges after fully using a product or service. Losing $2,000 is manageable. Losing $20,000 due to a dispute can be a disaster. Payment collection strategies should also be carefully structured. For high-ticket services, financing options should never extend beyond the length of service provided. In a $55,000 coaching program, for example, half the payment should be collected up front, with the remainder set up through automated bank drafts. This ensures payments don't outlast the program, reducing financial risk for the business. Mastering these business skills, marketing, selling, and asset allocation, removes the ceiling on revenue. When applied strategically, they create exponential growth and financial stability. The key is to focus on value, optimize revenue streams, and always position offers in a way that makes them irresistible. Success follows those who understand and implement these principles effectively.